Hi, my name is DiMarzio, and today I'm going to talk to you about running with your tutor. In marathons and other large races, certain runners are designated as pace setters. These runners are told to finish with a specific finishing time so that other runners around them can keep up with them to know how fast they're going. In other words, if you keep up with a 3-hour pacer, you'll end up with a 3-hour time. We can apply the same principle to teaching. If you keep up with a 3rd grade class, you'll end up with a 3rd grade reading level. However, there are many obvious and problematic differences. As teachers, we're asked to set the pace for 20 or 30 students instead of just one. The problem is that some will want to run faster, some will want to run slower, and some won't finish at all. So what do? Do we speed up to keep pace with the ones who are going faster? Do we slow down to encourage the ones who are falling behind?
How do I even get this thing on?
The answer to these questions and more is... I have no idea. I knew. Luckily, as of right now, we're only responsible for one or maybe a couple runners. Is the running metaphor getting old yet? In my case, I tutor a 2nd grade boy named William. Later, I'll talk about William and what I've learned about being a pace setter. But first, a little background information. As I grew up, my career ambitions changed many times, until I finally settled on being a teacher. Last year, my freshman year, I tutored at Culbreth Middle School in both a 7th grade choir and a 7th grade band. Unfortunately, in these settings, I was doing a lot more observing than tutoring. So as you can imagine, when summer rolled around, I was ready to put the skills I had learned to good use. Every summer, I work at John J. Barnhart Boy Scout Camp. This past summer, I was asked to teach the climbing merit badge. So, I took what I learned in school and made a well-thought-out lesson plan, which changed and improved as the summer went on. Over the summer, I learned what worked. So the snake goes through the hole, around the tree, and back down the hole. What didn't work, yeah, you almost got it, just try doing it less wrong next time. And how to change my lesson plan accordingly. As I taught, I found that there was one subject that was more challenging than the rest. Knot tying. I learned that, like reading, many students come in with a good understanding of knot tying, while others have never tied a knot before in their life, and take longer to learn. I had to come up with new and different ways to teach different scouts. More importantly, I learned 2 things that tie into the running metaphor that this whole video is supposed to be about. Seriously, can somebody help me? First thing, patience. You know how you can be teaching something and you think you've been really clear, but that one student just doesn't get it? And you want to be all like, just get it! Can't do that. You gotta stay positive, you gotta stay focused, you've gotta be a role model for how you want them to approach the material. Second thing, flexibility. If you're learning something new, and you've been going at it for a long time with little progress, it's okay to take a break. Climb a tree, talk about the weather. Be flexible. There's no use pushing something that's not getting through. Also, if you step back and rethink the problem, you may come up with a better way to teach it tomorrow. So guys, tell me what is rope? So that was my summer. Again, the 2 big things I learned, patience and flexibility. Now we can move on to the school year. This fall, I began tutoring in a 2nd grade class at Mary Scroggs Elementary School. As you can tell from this very helpful diagram, it's the thing at the top. I tutored a struggling Hispanic boy named William. Here's a picture he drew me. As the year went on, I identified 3 problems that William and I had to face. First, he often showed up to class sleepy or tired. When I asked him about this, he told me that he was up late taking care of his brother, who, quote, has dialysis. I didn't know what to tell him about that. His second problem is that he didn't focus well on classwork. Even math, which he was pretty good at, he refused to do for an extended period of time. His third problem is that he had a self-imposed barrier on himself, often telling me things like, I can't read. So like many of you, I was faced with a pretty difficult task. Since I was only able to tutor once a week, I decided to set a goal of inspiring William to be more enthusiastic about his work. That way he could work harder and more diligently when I wasn't around to help him. He was often reluctant to focus on his work or even try reading. This reminded me how much patience and flexibility I as a tutor needed to have. Patience not to get frustrated, and flexibility to know when it's okay to back down.
Unfortunately, I never really got through to William, and he still has many of the same problems he did before.
Luckily, Scroggs Elementary has its own intervention program, which is working closely with William and his family to try and help. All in all, I had a very humbling and enlightening year. I haven't decided if I'm going to stay with William or go explore other options, but either way, I'm looking forward to a new year and new possibilities. So to tie it all back into running, remember, it's okay to slow down and find the pace that's right for your two teeth. Just be sure to stay focused and keep moving forward. After all, education is a journey, not a race.
But I believe the world is burning to the ground.